A consumer group claims the new rules designed to protect passenger rights are in some ways worse than the previous ones, especially when it comes to aircraft delays on the ground. And now they're taking the whole issue to federal court.
It was announced as a solution to a problem.
With real and fair treatment standards and compensation.
Canada's new air passenger protection regulations will be phased in beginning in mid-July. But a consumer group is now suing the Canadian Transportation Agency, arguing the new regulations are unfair.
The government preferred the airline's private business interest over the passengers' public interests.
At issue, the rules involving how long an airline can legally keep passengers on the ground before flying, what's known as a tarmac delay, and how the new rules affect those with physical disabilities.
Oh, it's a step backwards, clearly.
Bob Brown is quadriplegic. He says air travel is onerous already, using the onboard washroom almost impossible, so he and others stop consuming liquids long before a trip.
You have to dehydrate, as much as 24 hours in advance of the trip.
The new rules allow airlines to stay grounded for up to 3 hours 45 minutes before takeoff. Existing rules, says the Air Passenger Rights Consumer Group, require airlines to get going in no more than 90 minutes or face penalties.
90 minutes is clearly better than 3 hours and 45 minutes.
It will definitely, have to come into their calculation of how far they can fly and for the duration.
The group says the new rules also deprive travelers of certain rights if they're bumped from a flight, if a check-in counter is closed early, for example, or if an airline switches your flight.
The government clearly introduced bad policy.
They say the regulations violate the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and they're asking the Federal Court of Appeal to hear the case.
The Parliament's legislation never intended to take away, to reduce passenger protection.
Bob Brown wants a judge to force the regulator to return to the 90-minute standard, and that regulators penalize airlines that break rules and don't voluntarily pay compensation.
Either you enforce the rules or you don't.
Those new rules are coming in starting July the 15th and then again in mid-December. Legal action or not. Question is, will the courts later rule them fair or not?